Shalom, shalom. It's Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. We're going to be discussing biblical, you know, uh, unless I can come up with a better name. Hey, Manuel, can you put that light on? Like those lights? Because then, yeah, it'll be brighter. I think it's morning. Anyway, we are discussing biblical character traits. So we're going to be discussing that. The name might change. I might call this what it means, like what being meek or what being humble looks like. There, I just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so it's not making all those sounds. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. We will. You'll definitely see the nature of this. It's gonna be a very good show. I think what I'm gonna be speaking on here is a topic that you know it's something it's called for in the Bible, talking about being meek, being humble. But I think it's something that's seen and not heard. Like you can say, "Hey, be humble," all that stuff. I'm humble, all this, but it's something you see in people. You could discern. You could even feel it in their character. So, um, and the reason why it's so critical that we operate in this is because like I said earlier, it's a major blockage to being inwardly focused, to being able to look within. Um, what Romans chapter 3 verse 23 says is, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Another verse you hear me read from time to time is the one that says, our righteousness is as filthy rags to the Most High. And you could look up what that filthy rags truly means. It's worse than it sounds. And so to walk around, to walk around and act like that's not the case, it's like Yah's word is so heavy and true. When you know people who walk in humility there's almost a magnetic draw to them. You know what I'm saying? They have a magnetic draw. People walk in pride, it's almost like you could feel that prideful energy. It almost pushes you away, like, oh my goodness. It's uncomfortable even hearing some of the things that are being said. So the word holds true. And we're going to get into it more, but let's read this. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Again, I don't. This is the path to being meek and to being and to being humble. Hey man, can you pull up the definition of the word meek and the definition of the word humble? Okay. So anyway, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't me I don't put a lot of trust or faith in men uh, or man. I don't put a lot of faith and trust in myself. That's why if you begin to look within and you pay attention to your thoughts and begin to truly, without a spirit of pride, look at what's coming up in you, you'll see how wicked that wickedness is just sitting there crawling, because you gotta, like the word says, you gotta cast down and bring into captivity these thoughts that exalt themselves against the knowledge of Yah. And they come, they get there. You got it? Okay, I'm gonna tap you for it in a sec. So I don't get caught up in people that much, and I'm actually working on taking that to another level where, you know what I'm saying, and this kind of ties into what I was saying earlier, man. When you become more inwardly focused, you can't, the things going on outside, whether it's drama or whatever it might be, the energy of it just drops off. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful way to be, because you'll be more at peace. You'll be more effective in your growth, in your development, which will bring more peace. So it's literally like a spiral up. When you're externally focused, you're leaking your time, energy, effort, attention on external things, and it's a spiral down, because the only thing it's doing is draining you. I can't tell you the number of times I've poured time, energy, effort into external situations only for them to continue going the way they had already been going. It's why I don't get caught. I'm telling you, and it's a trap. It's easy to get caught up in. I'm not in it. I'm not innocent. I've gotten tricked and trapped into getting too caught up in externally focused stuff. But the strength is gained when you guide yourself back to focusing on yourself, back to humility, meekness, working your own salvation out with fear and trembling. So Manuel's going to read, Brother Manuel is going to read the definition of meek and humble. Just speak up a little bit.
All right, so the first definition is meek: quiet, gentle, and easily opposed on, submissive.
So quiet, what?
Quiet, gentle, easily imposed on,
So quiet, gentle, easily imposed on,
submissive.
submissive. And the word says the meek shall inherit the earth. You know what I'm saying? Read humble. Speak up a little.
Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance.
Having or showing a low or what?
Low or modest estimate of one's own importance.
So having or showing a low or modest estimate of one's own importance. And again, when you really begin to see yourself for who you truly are, and you do inner work and you're focused on what the word says, that's the standard, and then you look at yourself, you become aware of what you're thinking and doing and acting, how you're moving, and you compare yourself to that standard, it will humble you. It will. Can you do me a favor? Can you look that word meek up in the concordance, though, so we can get it in its, in its translation? So we're gonna get that too. But I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go on reading. It says. So what I put here is, don't trust yourself or your thoughts. Trust Yah. You see what I'm saying? And this, like, people could say what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a this is the weighty matter, man. This is the thing that, whew. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I know the pain of doing this. Like, I know how counterintuitive, like what I just said there goes against literally everything in your carnal makeup. And a lot of people will pay lip service to this and talk a good game. Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, this, that. But initially, when you begin working that muscle, it's very sore, and you can only do very lightweight. Like, for instance, me, when I started going to the gym, again, it's probably like 6 months ago or something like that. I'll be honest. The first time I went to the gym, I probably worked out maybe 10 minutes and just kind of did some stretches, didn't really lift any weight at all. Just kind of did very super duper light stuff. I just did some stretches and some very, very light exercises. And then, but fast forward now, I've scaled it up and I'm able to go in there, get intense, push myself real hard, and get sweaty. So it's a process like that spiritually too. It's like that dealing, it's like that when you face yourself for the first time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's real talk. Did you get it?
For humble, I mean for me,
Yeah, for me. Just let me know when you got it.
I got it. It's
Oh,
basically the same thing. Poor, humble, afflicted, meek. So basically,
so poor, humble, afflicted, meek.
yeah,
So basically the same.
same thing.
And this is how we need to press. Now, and I'm guilty of it too. I've seen where people will kind of be pressing towards. They're like, oh, I got a King David spirit and all this stuff like that. I don't think they fully understand that because, look, you read about Moses. He was meek. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, yeah.
Yeah, I just had that verse. That's why I got the definition.
Oh, that's where you got it from?
Yeah.
Go ahead, read it.
Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
So there you go. So, and y'all, you know, if you ain't walked in that capacity, it could be difficult. All right. So what we're gonna get into a little bit is I did a whole, I don't know if it was a series or a show. I think it was just a show on the spirit of rejection. And the best way to break down the spirit of rejection is the way the Most High designed us. He designed us to be loved a certain way as we grow up. Okay, so he designed you to require fatherly love and motherly love as you grow up. A lot of people, you run into a lot of people, they did not receive that. And when you don't receive that love the proper way you were supposed to, and you grow up lopsided when it comes to being loved, then you develop a spirit of rejection. And what it is a void where you're trying to fill that missing void of love in different ways. And what's the process of overcoming that spirit of rejection? Step one, a lot of times you need deliverance, because it's a spirit. A lot of times it's a spirit operating in you, and it overpowers you. But then you have a lot of people, they think, hey, deliverance is a magic pill, and once you get it, you're good to go. No, what I see, a lot of people, they'll get deliverance, they'll get spirits off them, but then they don't feel that there's still a void there, and they don't fill that void in with anything. So what do you fill that void in with? The word of Yah. What does that look like? Because I'm not going to just leave y'all with just some vague ambiguity and unclear stuff. What does it look like when you fill in that void left by the spirit of rejection or having rejection? What does it look like when you fill that in? Well, is what we've been talking about in the series that we did here. Um, First, you have to get the word, and you got to know the word, and know the word as it pertains to you and your weakness. And you got to know where your weaknesses are. How are you gonna know that? By your emotional reactions, by observing yourself and your behaviors, by doing what that scripture always quote is casting down imaginations and any high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah. So in order to do that, you have to pay attention to what you're thinking, to what you're feeling. You know, you don't have to burn yourself out doing it, and enjoy your life, but you have to put in work, especially when you're in emotional situations, and just kind of briefly pay attention to what's going on inside you, in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you have to look at that stuff, pay attention to it. One of the best things to do is to write down what's going on when you're feeling some type of way. Write it down, because they're fleeting. These emotions, these thoughts, feelings, they're fleeing. They're fleeting. They're like a gust of wind. They're there 1 second, and you feel it, and then next thing you know, it's gone, and you don't even know where it went, and you don't know where it came from. And that's the nature of thoughts. So you got to observe it while it's there, write it down, what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then when you calm down and you're in a good spiritual mindset, you could go back and read over what you were feeling, and then be like, so I was feeling this. Let me go see what the word says about that, and go read the word, and read and just study and meditate on the word in that particular area until it's in there. And then guess what? You got to be diligent, because what? It's going to happen again. So it happens again. Now you have a little more word in you, and that word might pop up automatically. You might even quote that word to whatever that thought, feeling, emotion, or spirit is in there. So it's a whole process, and there's a lot of tools. There's a lot of tools to bring to doing that, and but that's kind of a granular process of self development, true spiritual self development and growth. Now, and you have other tools. You have prayer. You have fasting. Fasting is like putting on, you're looking for the enemy out there. Uh, Fasting is like maybe having a sniper scope on your rifle so you can see even further and more precisely. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but it's added strength to really discerning what's going on in your spirit, hearing what's going on, in your spirit, in your mind, what's going on with your thoughts, what's getting submitted. It heightens that spiritual awareness going on in you. So you have that prayer, fasting, seeking the Lord, and reading the Word, self-analyzation, just writing down what goes on. And the best time to practice self-analyzation, now this is my personal opinion, is number one, in stressful situations. You know what I'm saying? Gold is tried in the fire, and worthy men in the furnace of affliction. So in situations that stress you out, get you emotional or whatever, that's when the you or the dark stuff surfaces, where you could see it when you're feeling some type of way. Okay? That's when you can start analyzing these things. And in the morning, a lot of times in the morning, that's a good time. All right, let's see what else we got here. So, I wrote here. What is your reputation? What is your personal brand? Okay, reputation. What are you known for when your name comes up with the people? Think, can you be counted on? So just some self reflection. Okay. Um, so we got a Bible verse. We're gonna read this. This is a good one. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Okay? Now, one of the things I talk about here at our assembly, and I kind of related to that. I heard this dude talking about the SEALs and how like the people on Dev Groove, like SEAL Team 6, like the best of the best of the SEALs. The dude was talking about, how, when you get to, once you get on the SEAL teams and you've been practicing on there, nobody talks about buzz because everybody's done that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like us here in this home assembly. And everybody has left mother and brother and home and lands for the sake of the Most High. So, we don't sit there and talk about that. But one of the things I talk about is, you hear me say it a lot, is people have attachments to people, places, things. But here's the big one, is that I always say is mindsets. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people have deceived themselves into thinking that they have given all for his name's sake, because what it says here, for whosoever will save his life. So a lot of people feel like they've done that, but what are they saving? Man, this is like, and it's blatantly obvious in this particular dead season where you can still see people are hanging on to carnal aspects of, the old man. They keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? They trying to save that life, and to their own detriment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give all. And look, let's keep 100. It's easy to give up the money, cars, homes, people, places, things. It's easier to do that than to give up some of these mindsets. That's where I see people like, and there's a lot of people that just ain't, they're going to hang on to their wicked ass family members and stuff like that. But I've seen people wrestle with that keep them out. But the thing I see that takes folks out left and right is mindsets. Because inevitably, when you get around the saints and you get in a righteous environment, it's a mirror on you where you really get shown yourself if you desire to see it. But a lot of people, they come up with crafty ways of avoiding truly dying to self. And they never gain life. Now listen what I'm saying. What do I mean by that? Hey, let me see what time it is. I got time. So they never die. They never truly die to self. So they never truly gain life. So they will hang on to these aspects of themselves, these personality traits, whatever it might be, that's contrary to the word. They'll mask it. They'll fight to keep it. They won't come into true meekness and humility. They won't do it. So they never truly live life. You're carrying around this burden of whatever it might be. Something I've seen in the Dead Sea is just people trying to explain themselves. People that I've seen that have just really had a difficult time um, living harmoniously, if I said that correctly, or in unity with the saints. Okay, is the thing I've seen is they're just it's that video I did yesterday, that contention, that strife, because what they haven't truly given their life so they can live in peace. If something don't feel right, they just they gotta push it, and they just can't take the meek route. They easily, what did that thing say about meekness?
The submissive route.
Submissive, you know.
Being humble.
And what does the word tell you? To submit one to another. Like me here, I'm a head of assembly, and look, I'm in the past, yeah, like at times when you're dealing with people that just haven't died to self, it can suck you into that too, where you're trying to deal with them and trying to get them to get it, and it's just a spiral shit show down the drain. But like the word says, you got to be meek. You know what I'm saying? Even me, a head of assembly, whatever, that just means, hey, I set the vision and all that, but I'm learning. It's like, hey, what I've seen is, man, when this mindset is ingrained in people, they ain't fully died to self, there ain't nothing you could do. You could, at best, you could kind of compartmentalize them in a way and kind of put them in a position where they're not being a detriment to everybody else at best. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we have to fully die to self. And the way you're going to do that is, again, going back. You got to take that journey inwards, man. You got to take that difficult look. You got to look at what's going on when you're in situations that get you turned up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's see. So I'm going to read this whole thing. It's just 2 verses. It says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" Okay? So it don't matter. I literally can't elaborate on that anymore. It's like on point on what it said, you know? And that's why like in that video I did yesterday, I see people, they sitting here, they want to contend and claw and, well, no, we need to understand that you need to understand this what you need to understand, and this is all this external bull crap. And what you're not doing while you're doing that, you're not working on yourself, and you're squandering time. I'll say it again. I tried to go on that show. My mission, my agenda was to go on that show, on Nick's show, and tell people, hey, this is a deception. You need to focus on yourself. This is a distraction and a deception to just keep you off track. You need to focus within. Stop trying to hang on to your life. You're not going to be able to have life more abundantly if you're you're just filling yourself with contentious stuff. But there was a point where I realized, you know what? Only thing this is doing is like aggravating me, and nobody's getting any edification and not hearing this stuff I'm saying. I'm going to just stick to my channel. And I was like, I'm out. Poof, I'm gone. Engender strife. You know what I'm saying? Foolish and unlearned questions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay. If you can't make adjustments, you will get adjusted. Life will adjust you. You have to be able to make adjustments. Can you make adjustments? Can you make behavioral, spiritual emotional, mental adjustments? Or are you just like this mindless, emotional, reactive, triggered beast? You see what I'm saying? What are you? All right. You have to see Satan operating in you. It says, I am will to do whatever. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to bring out. I'm gonna see what y'all saying in the comments here, and definitely let me know how y'all are doing in your walk, and put it in the comments. Or if you have any anything to add on to what we're bringing out here. Let's see if y'all saying anything. Somebody said, "Good job on your last interview." Yeah. hey, that ain't what everybody else think. Trust me. But hey, I did watch a chunk of it, and you know, what was being done in that interview is a thing called framing, and framing a question, and you can look it up. And there's positive ways to frame, but then there's manipulative ways to frame where you're coercing a person into answering a question a certain way, and then the question is a statement of argument on top of that and implies all this stuff. So, and what was happening, I was answering the question, and then the question after that would imply that I had said something else, and it was just fruitless. Okay. Okay. And let's see. Father. Okay, you showed your wisdom when you left because nobody was hearing you. Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. But anyway, y'all, that's what I got to bring out. Definitely, look into what I said and put it into practice. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not a comfortable thing to do. This is why you don't see everybody doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is why you don't hear a whole bunch of people talking about it. And this is why you see a lot of people, they talk a good spiritual game, but they're stagnant. You don't see any change in them. So anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. Shalom.